Hi dear people, welcome back to the channel. In our previous video we had started on our new round greenhouse. Jonas finished up the roof. And I installed some trellises in the garden for growing plants like cucumbers and tomatoes vertically. Someday I hope to add a little roof above it, so it provides some more shelter from the rain for these plants. An unexpected visitor arrived on the homestead. A friend of mine from Belgium, Eva, decided to come visit for a week.
Wat ga ik nu vandaag eens filmen? Nee, ik denk als dat zo zou. Dat zou echt een tent zijn. Als dat. Ja, dat zou inderdaad.
So we worked together in the garden and the kitchen, having some good conversations and laughs. Windows we had collected back in Belgium and brought with us during moving to Estonia can now be used in the new greenhouse. Mid-May I was putting out a lot of plants in the garden, because the weather forecast seemed pretty good and far from freezing temperatures. But some frost came by surprise on the 18th of May, and sadly a third or so of my plants died. I think I need to be more patient next year. Underneath the cordwood walls will come a simple foundation of stacked stones. Stones we gather from a part of our old stone wall that is a bit hidden in the forest.
Oh, je moet wel wat meer stenen.
Our cat has gotten many new names over the past months, but most recently we're naming him Fucanelli, just because it seems to fit his personality. Together with Eva we explored the nature surrounding us, the vast forest and the stony windswept coastlines. Finally, the leaves appeared back on the trees during the month of May. Eva knows a lot about wild plants and teach me about some edible plants to forage around the land.
beetje misschien nog zoiets zoals...
Dat was met die wal.
Dat was kort in de wal toen.
Ja, dat was ook zeggen.
I'm planting brambles and climbing plants on the branch walls surrounding the garden, for creating more fruit for us, a barrier for the deer, and a nesting place for the birds to hide underneath. Now it was time to start the walls of the greenhouse in the cordwood technique. In the past winter time we had collected many tree stumps and debarked them, so they could be dried for a couple of months before using them. The plaster is just dug out from behind our garden, where a new digging hole has been established. We add some fiber, in this case some reed straw, and have to mix it well before it can be used. And then it's just very simple, stacking the wooden stumps and filling up the holes between with the mixture. The gap above the windows we're filling up with woven hazel branches and clay plaster. With 3 people focusing on the new greenhouse structure, things moved forward.
Met die bloemen.
We went out to have an evening adventure on the beach, but before that we collected some spring water on the way.
Moet dat alsjeblieft gaan zien, want dit
Wordt hier aangeboden.
Ja, ik had dat zien. Ik heb nog wel wel, maar ik weet nu niet dat. Ja, die zullen daar gewoon aan.
It's an overwhelming time of the year. Many things are coming together at once. In some weeks our goats will arrive, so it was urgently necessary to start on the house for the goats.
Oeps. Een pootje daaronder. Echt zo kijken, want ik ga kapot.
In the future I would love to grow some more food for our animals, so I'm extending the garden to the other open space on the land, covering the ground so the existing vegetation will die off and it will be easy next springtime to cultivate. Perhaps I will be growing sunflowers and some oats in this part here. A couple of days after Eva left, new visitors arrived. The parents of Jonas turned up for the third time since we moved here and are always eager to help us out with many projects, which is always a blessing. The main project the guys wanted to tackle was replacing and insulating the roof of the small cabin, and to add 2 little windows for light. The roof was really rotten. Jonas, his mom, helped a lot with building the walls of the greenhouse further up. Inside the greenhouse we want to create a shower space for guests that visit us, so I'm figuring out some sort of a privacy wall here, that can also serve as a thermal mass to retain the warmth of the sun during the day.
Hey.
Maar, zoveel lichter. Zelfs tegen die kader. Ja. Ah ja.
We took some days and moments to go on hikes together. Some places you might start to recognize because we're visiting them in different seasons and we keep coming back to them. My tomatoes urgently needed to be planted out, so I hurried to create beds for them inside the new greenhouse.
Juist tussenin nog, ja.
At the same time, I needed to print a certain amount of prints to sell in some local shops on the island this summer. The roof is almost finished now. It just needs some more tar oil to darken and protect it. I think this little cabin is happy with its new head. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.